Hi there, Alex with Automate My Co here, and today I'd like to walk you through a workflow that I built on Zapier for my business Food Peddler. Food Peddler is a local bike-powered restaurant delivery service here in St. Louis, and we use Google Voice for any of our customer service inquiries. Customers can text us or leave us a voicemail on Google Voice. We prefer that they text us, and that's what we have in any of our marketing materials. Now, Google Voice doesn't have a native Zapier integration or a public API, but what they allow for is to forward any text messages to an email address. So what I've turned on here is just this toggle switch in our Google Voice settings to forward messages to email, and then I have a dedicated email address for text messages. Now I'll show you what that email looks like. So this is an example email that we received from Google Voice. This is just a test message that I sent to myself using my other business line. And you can see a few key data points here. So this, of course, is the message. This is the phone number in this spot and this spot. And then this is a unique email address that Google Voice sends. And then you can see the first part of the email address is Food Peddler's number. And then this is the receiving number, or the number who was sending. And then this is just kind of a random string at text.voice.google.com. Now in our settings here, I've set up an automatic filtering and forwarding rule so that any text messages get forwarded to our orders email. And then in our orders email, coming over here, we have a second rule that any text messages received from that chat email address get forwarded to Mail Parser. Now, I'll show you Mail Parser here. Mail Parser is a very powerful tool that allows you to parse typically templated emails, which are a lot of emails. So confirmation emails, and then in this case, the Google Voice emails. Now I'm pulling out 3 key data points here that I showed you in the email beforehand, and those are phone unformatted, and the message. Now, whenever Mail Parser receives an email to that inbox, then it triggers this zap. So we have the new message, then that goes through a formatting step to be URL encoded, and that comes into play later. Then it searches our Google contacts for that phone number. So if that phone number is found in our contacts, then they're existing. If not, we assume they're not an existing contact. So going down here, we have a couple different paths. The first path, if the contact is found, then it's going to go through this filtering step first. So this filtering step filters by the message contents. So for example, if the message is just so-and-so liked the message or loved the message, basically we're filtering for any messages that we don't need to be notified for immediately. So we only want to see messages that are kind of time critical. Then this step here is a webhook that connects to Telegram, which sends a Telegram message to me so that whenever we do get one of these messages, then I'm notified immediately. Then here, we are doing something somewhat special where we are adding the email that Google Voice provided. Remember this email address here. We are adding that to the Google contact. And I'm not going to explain that in much detail here, but anytime that you respond to this email, then it sends a text message back to the contact. And so this is a way for us to send automatic text messages back to those contacts. So that message data is saved in the contact, and then I have another zap I can explain in another video that anytime we want to send an automatic text message back to them, then it sends an email to that saved email address. Okay, so that it was if the contact was found. If the contact was not found, then it's going to search 3 tables. 1 is our table of fans or customers. 2 is our table of partners. And then 3 is our table of peddlers. So our partners, restaurant partners, fans, customers, and then peddlers would be our couriers who take the deliveries. Every once in a while, we may have an applicant who gets saved in this table. So an applicant may be texting us, or a peddler might have texted our number. And so this is just a way for us to add more context by looking up the appropriate record in the table. Okay, now we have 4 paths here. First path, if they are a fan, then we're going to add the contact. Once again, this is if they were not found in our Google contacts. We're going to add the contact to Google, and then we're going to send that notification in Telegram. And the notification has the name added to it, the name of the contact. Same idea here. We're going to send a notification with the partner's name and then add them to our contacts. Same idea with peddler. And then if they're unknown, we're going to send a notification because of course we want to see that notification. But if they're unknown, that means they were not found in either one of these tables, in which case it'll just be a simple notification with the phone number and the message. Okay, now I'll show you what that final notification looks like. And you can see here, this is that test message that I sent to our address. And what's great about this is that I have this built-in link. And I just click the link. And it takes me right back to our messaging thread. Now, I built this workflow for Telegram, but you could imagine a use case for any other platform that you want to receive a notification, such as Slack or Microsoft Teams. If you have any questions for me, please reach out to me on LinkedIn or leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.